Hello everyone, this is the fifth segment of the Machzor Maven dedicated to the memory of Lucy, Maya, and Rina D. Right at the beginning of the Pesukei de Zimra in the morning, we have the Baruch Sheamar. In a way, Baruch Sheamar is the opening blessing of Pesukei de Zimra, and Yishtabach is the closing blessing, or in Shabbos Nishmat through Yishtabach. Even though I personally daven Nusach Svard, when it comes to Pesukei de Zimra, I also start with Baruch Sheamar. I feel that's the opening and the opener, and that's the way I start. What's interesting about Baruch Sheamar is we have this whole description at the beginning of the various attributes of God. God is, first of all, Baruch Sheamar vaya olam. He said, may there be a world, and he created the world. God is also the God of rewarded punishment. Baruch Meshalem Sachar Tov L'Reyav. He's a God of mercy. Baruch Merachem Al Haaretz. He's a God that fulfills all that he says. Baruch Gozer Mekayem. Why do we go into such description right at the beginning of davening? And I believe the answer goes to the crux of what Pesukei de Zimra is all about. We're about to go eventually to the Shmoneh Esrei, where we're going to request of God many different things. We have to know who we're talking to. And God indeed is not just what they taught us in elementary school. Namely, if you do an Aveira, a terrible fire is going to come out from heaven and punish you. God is much more than that. And to live with that primitive point of view of God is very unhealthy. God created the world. God continued to maintain the world. God has mercy, and God also is a God that will punish for Averas and give reward for mitzvot. Before we start davening, we have to make it clear, who are we davening to? So we take many different names of God. Each name ultimately goes ahead and describes who God is, and we say right away who we're praying for. And that's what Pesukei de Zimra is all about. If you look through it, you'll see each chapter that was chosen from Tehillim is another different attribute of God that we refer to in the Baruch Sheamar. Thus is my custom to always start with Baruch Sheamar, even though I'm Nusach Sfard. I feel that puts my mindset in the right place, and then all the rest of the Pismonim, all the rest of the Prakim, and the chapters of Pesukei de Zimra flow from Baruch Sheamar on. That's the answer Rav David Tzvi Hoffman gives, and I think it's very true. We are turning to God both when needed for mercy, when other times needed to pay back, God forbid, enemies of the Jewish people, and many times to do the extraordinary like he did when he created the world. That's our mindset at the beginning of davening. Know who you're speaking to. Know who the crowd is, quote unquote. In this case, it's God, and we make it very clear who God is.